I am back with Charles Crooks. He is the shaman who has helped me these past few years become a very happy person. Charles, thank you for being here and welcome.
Thank you very much.
We were talking about healing in our last segment, and now I'd like to talk a little bit about reincarnation, because I know that in my own life I have had blockages that were not from this lifetime, but were from past lifetimes that you have healed me from. So, do you believe in reincarnation? I would say yes, but I want our viewers to hear it direct from you.
Okay. I will not use the term I believe in reincarnation. Okay. I will use the term I know for myself that it exists. I have past life memories that defy explanation. And I knew of these things when I was 5 years old. I knew of places that did not exist at the time when I was born, but I knew where they existed beforehand. But let's go step away from me for a second. The famous General George S. Patton also was a strong believer in reincarnation. There's many other stories, Paramahansa Yogananda, stories that have been validated by the Catholic Church over a lady that lived in Chicago, who she went to Scotland and described everything, including finding her 3 sons, who at the time were 90 years old at the time this documentary was done, and there was only one name that she called each one of them that was only known to her when she was the mother of these. And so this was confirmed by the Catholic Church that this was one of those true reincarnation events. So in my first-hand experience, I know it to be true, not because I believe in it, but because I have direct experience.
And so, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. Do you know that people have blockages that come to you that are blockages from a past life? Can that actually happen?
Yes, there was one example. There was going to be a battle in France right around the 1400s. And there was a group of local young guys that were going to go to battle, and they were little spooks. So the local priest said, well, if you pray and be, pious all night, the angels will protect you tomorrow and you will not be harmed in battle. Well, as luck would have it, the individual I'm referring to, yes, was harmed, and they got hit in the back of the head, and I watched this whole thing go down. On the way down, they came to the conclusion that they're rejected by God, and therefore the angels had rejected them. When they came to get some work done here, they thought that they had to make up for all that stuff and whatever. I went ahead and released it, and that took care of their problem.
So you're so intuitive, Charles, that you have just picked up my next question that I have for you. And it's like, I have been told for myself that I have had lots of suffering in my life, and people have said to me, you're suffering because you're not right with God. So,
what?
Yes, I've heard that. So you were talking about the angels, and people not being right. And so that's what my question to you is that a valid statement that people suffer because they're not right with God?
No.
And where would that belief for other people come from?
Judgment.
And
insecurity.
Okay. So people do suffer in this life. There's no guarantee that we're not going to suffer, but do you think that their challenges, are they there for us to grow and learn, or why do we have suffering?
Partly that's a physical condition learned and to balance things out, but it allows us to tone our personalities, to grow, develop, to experience. And
so how can you explain the suffering of little children who are born with birth defects? What is that? Is that because they came in to learn something, or?
That is a question that to make a blanket statement like that, I think would be inappropriate, because each case has its own merits. So I couldn't answer that one directly.
And so you don't think that people are punished for bad behavior? What about bad behavior?
I don't think you have somebody sitting on some chair basically throwing bolts of lightning down and hitting somebody who is irritated the big cheese in the sky, as the expression goes.
So what you're telling me, is God about judgment, or is he about love?
Consider every breath you take. Is that not the breath of God that you're breathing that gives you life? It gives you the ability to choose what you want to do, to work a path of light or darkness. Is that not absolute love in itself?
But how would you, what would you say to somebody who says, well, the Bible tells me that God's going to judge me one day? What would you say to those people?
Well, I don't really support that aspect of it, and the reason is because, number one, since the light exists within ourselves, I think we're going to be very good at deciding what we're successful and not successful at, and determine what we need to do next to bring that into balance. To think God is some jealous, insecure individual that basically looks like the local father of a local clan who's jealous and insecure, as the expression goes, pardon my repeating of those terms, I think is a little bit silly and also narrow-minded. But again, look at the breath of life.
So now, again, do you believe in the tenets of the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible?
I found the Bible to carry spiritual truth, yes.
Yes, but not all of them. Do you think the Bible was written by God? Do you think the Bible was written by God?
Every word that you say or I say is. How can it be outside of God?
Okay. Well, I think I'll leave everybody with that. I appreciate you being with us today, Charles. Thank you so much. And if you want to reach Charles, how can we reach you, Charles?
At my website, http://shamanic-enterprises.com.
Thank you again.
Thank you.